everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is India and today we are going to be doing my last book of the month unboxing. So if you have been in the BookTurnet realm at any point for the last couple of months, you know, Juneteenth and all that kind of stuff, then you know some companies really showed their behind when it came to how they felt for Black Lives, and Book of the Month was one of them. The reason I'm doing this unboxing, one, I used up my last few credits, so I have a few books in here. But I also wanted to talk about Book of the Month, because Book of the Month I feel like has been pretty shady recently. You know, a lot of these books on here are Book of the Month, because that's kind of where I started when I was just starting out on BookTube with like getting physical copies of books, because I really didn't have physical copies of books when I started BookTube, because I'm really an e-reader. So that's where I started. You know, they send you one book a month. It's no muss, no fuss, no stuff, just a book. Bet I can do that. And so, but then you start realizing that it's not really a book. You know, they don't always have books that I really cared to read. I was still reading a lot of YA. They didn't have YA. And so it came to a point where I was like, I'm just picking books to pick a book. And then you were constantly paying, and then you couldn't like skip a month and skip a payment. I mean, it's only 15 bucks, but you know, 15 bucks for a hardback book, that's fine. But, you know, you're just constantly paying for, like, books that you don't really want, right? So, I stopped getting Book of the Month. Cool? I stopped. Then, fast forward, a year and a half, 2 years later, Book of the Month, I was like, hey, we're going to start YA Book of the Month. Everyone's like, oh my god, that sounds like so much fun. Yes, let's do it. Okay? And so, we start YA Book of the Month. Cool. We have like cool YA releases coming out, like they're good ones. You know, they've asked so many people to be affiliates and YA Book of the Month affiliates, and people are like, bet, I got you, boo, like here's free advertisement, because I still have to make all the content for your free advertisement for me to just get a $15 book. Like, you're getting hundreds of dollars worth of free content from these people to talk about these books, right? Cool. And then YA Book of the Month was like, you know what? We asked way too many people to be affiliates, and way too many people said yes to getting a free book, because I mean, we're all book nerds. We want free books, right? So we asked way too many people to do that. So you know what we'll do? Actually, now you don't get a free book unless someone clicks your link and or buys a subscription using your link. Okay, like I can see how that would benefit from like a managerial standpoint. That would benefit more for YA Book of the Month. They're losing less on the revenue side of just constantly sending out a free book every single month to to people, right? They're losing less money by doing it that way. Whatever, I understood, but at the same time, you kind of reneged on what your setup was, for this affiliate program. And then on top of that, there really wasn't a diverse range of people that you were asking to be affiliates. I mean, you know, it came out all of a sudden, a whole bunch of people were asked. You know, Twitter, you know, people are excited to be asked to be affiliates or something, because they did at least ask a wide range of size of platforms, from bigger sizes to smaller sizes like myself. And so that was one thing that happened. And then why they were like, you know what? We don't really want to do YA Book of the Month anymore, so we're not going to do it. I still don't know why they stopped doing YA Book of the Month. There was never a reason why they stopped doing it. I mean, they had a whole debacle with Ninth House and still putting it in YA Book of the Month, even though we all knew it was new adult, and Leigh Bardugo said all the time it was her adult books. Do not put it in YA Book of the Month. They still did it, so that was a huge thing. They were like, but some of our fans will still want it. And we were like, we don't care, just put it in the adult section. Anyway, so they did that. And then it was just, it was a mess. But they disappeared. They up and disappeared. They said, we're not doing YA book. Like, we're shutting it down. But then they also said that they were going to merge YA Book of the Month with Book of the Month, so there would still be YA options available. And so I still remember trying to use my like couple of credits left to go get some of the YA books that I saw that I wanted, right? And so I sent an email when they merged, and I was like, hey, I'm still trying to get the YA books, but they're not on your website. They're like, oh no, they're there, blah, blah, blah. And I'm over here like, no, they're obviously not, or else I would not be emailing you. They're not there. They're not there for me to pick. So then, though they claimed that they would still be continuing YA options through Book of the Month, they just didn't want to do it on a separate website. That wasn't true. They just stopped doing it altogether. So, a lot of shady stuff happening. And then, I'm probably gonna have to go back through, hold on. Yeah, I dropped my phone. Whew. Whew. Let's see. Did I screenshot them? Book of the Month. Because then they went on Twitter and they showed their asses, right? Because obviously that's the best place to go when the whole world is talking about having diversity and inclusion in your staffing, in your product, especially in things that have subscription boxes. You know, you've got people like Faye Crate, who is just out there on Twitter like, hey, tag your favorite people of color, tag your favorite this, like, we want to know, tag your favorite, we want to know, we want to get out more things to more people. Book of the Month was like, oh, black people? That's how LitJoy Crate was too. Don't even get me started on LitJoy Crate, because that was some shady shit. Try to slide into my DMs like, India, we see your concerns. God, I'm trying to show you guys the receipts. I'm trying to show you guys the receipts of how showed their behinds. You know what? They deleted all their tweets up until May. This is so funny. They deleted like all of their tweets up and through May of like last year. But like, or maybe it was on Instagram. But basically, they were trying to be like, almost blaming black folk. Oh, that's what it was. They were blatantly rude to the Stacks Pod, who is who posted a comment. And then they silenced her by deleting her comments and then blocking her from her account. I'm pretty sure just asking about black books and their site, because honestly, Book of the Month throughout the years has done terrible about adding black books or people of color to their to their selections. Like, even during Black History Month, they had one book by a black author, and then I think it was a repeat author at that. And so it's like there are tons of black authors out there, and they really only ever like they have both, like, their next post of course is Britt Bennett, who is like the main person they have up for their Book of the Month author all the time. And so so they said, some of you asked about black author representation in the publishing industry and within our selections. About 5% of all published authors are black. And about 10% of our monthly selections every year are written by black authors. Book of the Month recognizes that we can do more to highlight diverse voices. In the second half of 2020, we commit to increasing the number of books we feature by writers of color, with special emphasis on books by black authors. Okay? And then also the problem with like Book of the Month is also their staffing and who picks these books. So the one Book of the Month pick that they had for that February for Black History Month, they had, you know, they do this like read with whomever. And so they had this read with whomever as a white woman from a guest staffer, or whatever they call her, as a white woman to talk about this black book, in which she calls it a coming of age book, in which in this black book, this black girl is kidnapped, abused, and raped. Like, how is this? Who coming of age for? Only white people think that a black people coming of age should involve that much pain. Black people don't have to experience pain to have a coming of age. Versus if it was white girl, they'd be like, oh my god, this is so hard. This is so painful. This is so terrible. What happened to my kissy kissy frou frou? Oh my god, I've got boy problems and mommy drama. Like, and so Book of the Month just hasn't done a good job of being diverse in any aspect. And then on top of that, so you know, that whole thing with American Gothic came out in or no, was it American Gothic? What's that book? Y'all know what book I'm talking about though. Y'all know what book I'm talking about. And it was such a problematic book out in the book community. And people were telling them how problematic it was. And yet they were like, you know what? We don't care. We're still going to push it. We're going to advertise it. We're going to do all of this. And say fuck you. Huh. For some reason, I cannot find it on their social medias. So they were willing to promote it for that month, but now they are not. It's nowhere on here. This is wild. Book of the Month doing a major cover up. This is why I gotta be better with the screenshots. But y'all know what book I'm talking about. Y'all know what book I'm talking about. Y'all know. Anyway, so yeah, they were doing some shady shit. They have been doing some shady shit. And then they were like, fuck all you guys. We're actually going to just close our affiliate programming altogether while we restructure and revamp how we're going to do our affiliate programming in the future. Which didn't make sense to me, because it's like, why would you close your affiliate program even though you're still sending out books, you still have monthly subscriptions, when really the answer would just be to reach out to more people of color to include in your affiliate program. So that also just seemed really freaking shady to me. Really freaking shady. So I picked 3 books, guys. 3 books. So not all of these were this month's books. Some of them I went back, because like I said, some of the options just aren't that great every month. So sometimes it's not worth my time. And so, here we go. First up, we've got Head Over Heels. This was a July 2020 Book of the Month option. It says, can she bring home the gold at the gym and with him? Oh, I love reading these things. The past 7 years have been hard on Avery Abrams after training her entire life to make the Olympic gymnastics team a disastrous performance in their athletic career for good. Her best friend and teammate Jasmine went on to become an Olympic champion, then committed the ultimate betrayal by marrying their coach, Dimitri. Now reeling from a breakup with her football star boyfriend, Avery returns to her Massachusetts hometown, where her old acquaintance Ryan, now a coach, asks her to help him train Haley, a promising young gymnast with Olympic aspirations. Back in the gym for the first time in years, she's surprised not only by Haley's talent, but also by the sparks flying with Ryan. But when a shocking scandal in the gymnastics world breaks, it has shattering consequences for the sport. Avery isn't sure her burgeoning romance can survive it. Of course, it's going to be something about coaches dating those children that they train. So, and then I got the June 2020 one, the Britt Bennett one. I have a love-hate relationship with Britt Bennett books, so I picked the black author. Twins, inseparable as children, ultimately choose to live in 2 very different worlds, one black and one white. The Vignes sisters will always be identical, but after growing up together in a small southern black community and running away at age 16, it's not just the shape of their daily lives that is different as adults, it's everything, including their racial identities. Many years later, one sister lives with her black daughter in the same southern town she once tried to escape. Across the country, the other secretly passes for white, and her white husband knows nothing of her past. Sounds like an old book. Still, although separated by so many miles and just as many lies, the fates of the twins remain intertwined. What will happen when their own daughter's story lines intersect? weaving together multiple strands and generations from the Deep South to California from the 1950s to 1990s. The Vanishing Half is at once a riveting, emotional family story and a brilliant exploration of race, gender, and identity, and the lasting influence of the past as it shapes a person's desires and expectations. 1950s to 1990s, that's a dangerous time to be trying to pass as white. That's dangerous times. And finally, thickums. One to Watch by Kate Stayman, London. This is also a June 2020 pick. Real love as seen on TV. But y'all got these. B. Schumacher is a devastatingly stylish plus-size fashion blogger who has amazing friends, a devoted family, legions of Insta followers, and a massively broken heart. Damn, bitch. How much time I got left? Okay, cool. Like the rest of America, B indulges in her weekly obsession. The hit reality show Main Squeeze, the fantasy dates, the kiss-off rejections, a surprising number of guys named Chad. But B is sick and tired of the lack of body diversity on the show. Since when is being a size 0 a prerequisite for getting engaged on television? Bitch, I don't know, don't yell at me. Just when B has sworn off dating altogether, she gets an intriguing call. Main Squeeze wants her to be its next star, surrounded by men vying for her affections. B agrees on one condition. Under no circumstances will she actually fall in love. She's in this to supercharge her career, subvert harmful beauty standards, inspire women across America, and get a free hot air balloon ride. That's it. But when the camera starts rolling, B realizes things are more complicated than she's anticipated. She's in a whirlwind of sumptuous couture, internet culture wars, sexy suitors, and opportunity, or 2, or 5, to find messy, real-life love in the midst of a made-for-TV fairy tale. In this joyful, razor-sharp debut, B has to decide whether it might just be worth trusting these men and herself for a chance to live happily ever after. Now that sounds good. I'm going to read that. Plus size girls for the win! Okay, y'all, so that's my book of the month, guys. That's my book of the month spiel. I actually don't remember if I have any more book of the month credits. I think that's it. If I do, it's like one left. So I might just end up ordering one more book in August. And then close that account back up again. But yeah, guys, it's been fun. It's been real. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. But that's it for me, guys. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell notification button so you never miss anything. Follow me on all the socials because you would have been a part of this. And I think that's it. So until next time, keep turning the pages.